My name is Nicholas Walsey, student ID NIWA 05822. Today I'll be discussing the steps for reloading a shot shell and also safety precautions to consider during the reloading process. We're going to go off the assumption that the casing, the hull, was previously fired. So maybe something you picked up off the range, or you retained it after shooting in the field. Before you can do any reloading process, the hull or spent casing has to be resized back to the right specifications. This is done to ensure that when it is reloaded, that it performs properly and also prevents some malfunctions such as jams, feeding, extracting issues that may result from the case being out of specifications. Next, we'll go ahead and we're going to deprime the spent primer. This is done with a depriming rod, and they are specific to the right caliber or gauge, so and they're not interchangeable. Once the spent primer has been removed, we can place in the new primer, and this is done via the single stage progressive press that you're utilizing. Once it's pressed in there, you need to inspect it and make sure that it has been crushed, and also make sure that it's been seated properly and all the way in. As a huge safety precaution to try to deprime an unspent primer, or this may result in the primer actually detonating and causing injury to yourself or damage to the press. Next, depending on the recipe that you're utilizing, you're going to go ahead and make sure you get a good measurement on the weight of your powder charge. Once it's been properly set up, then you're going to then drop that into the case. So the hull, we have a fresh primer, and then we go ahead and place in the powder to the right amount of grains specific to that recipe. Next, on top of the powder, we're going to go ahead and place the wad. The wad is what the shot is going to sit in. It's also what seals the gas pressure as it goes down the bore. So this needs to be inserted properly. Make sure it's not canted. The bottom of the sides aren't damaged, which will have counterproductive to our operations. With the wad inserted, we're going to go ahead and place our shot, whatever it is that the recipe calls for, or size or grain or weight we're going to utilize, or number of shot will be placed inside the wad this time. Some hunting applications require a cushion to be placed in the bottom of the wad prior to the shot to be placed inside. So make sure you have the right cushion or the right shot placed inside. With the shot placed inside the wad, we're going to go ahead and crimp the hull. There's two different kinds of crimps. There are 6 folds and there's 8 folds. So you need to make sure that you understand which side, what number of folds you have, because that'll determine which crimping tool you're going to utilize. With the crimped, it should be tight enough to where no shot or powder is able to exit out of the front of the hole, and it should positively retain everything together nicely. Last part of the process is to make sure you mark the container that the shot shells are sitting in. That way you know what the specifications are, what recipe you utilized. Determine the powder weight, the shot. Is it for close distance or long distance or hunting applications? That way, you don't accidentally load a magnum shot when you're just going out to do some light clay pigeon firing. Safety precautions to consider when loading a shot shell that may be a little more unique to loading a shot shell is the recipes are very specific, and you cannot interchange the manufactured components to suit maybe your frugal needs. This being said, it's because all the components are made to certain manufacturer specifications, and then there are all some certain tolerances that are naturally prescribed with those manufacturers. By intermixing different manufacturers' components with one another, you may get an increased or decreased in chamber pressures, which result in sub-performance or damage to yourself to the firearm. Another thing that we precaution be going with change in different powder burn rates. So if you went from slow burn rate to fast burn rate powder, or vice versa, it would result in, again, catastrophic. Another one will be making sure that you're utilizing the correct primers and not trying to substitute one primer for another, because they do have unique properties with them, and then using the wrong primer could result in a dramatically increase in its chamber pressures and having, again, those devastating results as we were discussing. So that was the summarized steps for reloading a shot shell, and also some safety precautions to consider. Thank you.